All right, so it's time for another Decklist stream, and I should probably advertise in chat. Stream starting now! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark!
How is my computer losing battery? Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. I'm just gonna close all my extra windows I have open.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
And so yeah. I guess we should actually talk about. Do you want to talk about the changes this month? Although there isn't that many.
Sure, I can talk about that.
Oh, yeah. You do it because I literally haven't even looked at it.
So, a memorial to Radiance, this is just like a rules change to stop annoying stuff, though this doesn't stop the annoying rule stuff with curses. So before, just attached to creatures, Seraphina's gift is banned because this card is just nuts. You just feed it in without casting it, and you now draw 3, discard 2. Specifically with Marilia, Cradle of War, and Tinker's Tools are the main things.
Yep.
I assume Obwad Karoba is just a designer change. Same with Across the Planar Void. Dawn Silhouette stops the Cleric's combo deck from going. Descend Upon the Tomb, this is my fault. I made a very good Unearth deck. Didn't get to Decklist with it, though, sadly, or abuse it that much since it near the end of the month and got nerfed.
Yep.
A Horizon Treader, I think this is another, like, stopping combo decks, like the weird blink stuff. Intsuyu's Masterpiece just makes this card much easier to kill. I think this is a very reasonable change. It was seen playing Affinity, Bant Concord, that kind of stuff. Long Forgotten, this card is just very unfun, in my opinion.
What? Excuse me?
I don't like it. I play Graveyard deck.
I love this card. It actually gives me a good value to target to fetch with Settle Song.
I'm sure there are other value targets, Ricky, though. Primordial Artisan, I think this is just another designer change. Spirit of the Sands, this is for my Unearthed deck. Steward of Empire's Cradle, this is Bant Concord. This is another thing that's my fault. This card was completely insane and bonkers. Now it's still quite good in my opinion, but less good since it doesn't just curve you into a good 3-drop.
Well,
now
also,
you actually have to.
Also, it's a 3-drop, so it's a lot harder to fit into decks now.
Yeah. And then Tinker's Tools is just now sorcery because it was very annoying as instance.
They did the nerf that I suggested that they do in commentary. I'm not sure if that affected them or anything.
How many cards did I get nerfed? Descend, partially Masterpiece, probably Spirit of the Sands, and Steward.
Oh yeah. Also, if you look at the change logs for Tinker's Tools, it's out of order.
Yes.
2018, 2017, and then 2025. Is that? I'm not sure how they. I guess they manually add to the change logs, and they just forgot which order they were going in.
Probably.
Yeah,
How is my computer losing battery? Okay, I might have to get off my computer.
Are you not going to plug it in?
It is plugged
plug
in.
it in.
Oh, well, that's
what I'm confused about.
That's unfortunate. Anyways, so that's enough discussion about stuff. Oh yeah, actually, it's something else I want to mention since you pointed out Memorial to Radiance. Like that's actually it's actually a buff because
yes,
because previously if you wanted to copy a land aura, you need a creature in play to be the target, but now it targets any aura. So like,
and it just like not okay. Yeah, but now you still can't copy curses. I feel like just
yeah, but now it's actually possible to copy land auras with this thing without having to have a creature in play first, which means you can curve turn 1 land aura into this thing on turn 2.
I don't know. Like can't you just remove the attach clause and it still works? It just doesn't target because of weird aura rules shenanigans.
Oh yeah, something like that. But
okay, but anyways, we should probably do the actual Decklist stream.
Yeah,
you know?
good idea. Okay. So did you clean up the deck list? Oh wait, am I on the wrong one? Okay, I am. Hopefully I did not leak anything while trying to tab over to the other deck list stream. Do we only have 17 people this time?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
We might be able to finish
everyone yet.
Small GP.
We might be able to finish in an hour then.
I'm going to Ricky, I'm just gonna move to my phone now to let my computer charge. Because right now it's at 5.
Sure, I guess both of you guys are on phones now. Hopefully the audio quality won't be too bad.
Hopefully not.
Does phone Discord also have like noise reduction?
I don't even know. I just see like games. I don't know if we want to play games in VC.
Settings? Have you looked in settings yet? Settings, voice settings? Is there like anything like that? I should check on my side actually, since I have Discord installed on my phone too.
How's my audio quality?
Oh God.
Uh-oh. What happened?
So you know what peaking is, right? In terms of audio.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing that right now.
Oh.
It's a little cooked.
It's a little deep
Okay, let
fried.
me see if I can. If this computer still somehow has battery, my other computer. Okay, it's dead.
Oh,
Just try
that's
like turning the charger like around, because sometimes like one side of the charger is like weird.
Let me like re-plug it in.
okay. Well, while we're suffering through technical difficulties, maybe we should actually start. How many people are looking at us? We have one concurrent viewer. So the one person in stream right now, thank you very much for sticking through with us, because this is not desirable. Actually, maybe it is because it's for the content, and there's more content when stuff doesn't go to plan.
It's drama.
Oh God, I'm actually not sure if you're super loud, or like you being super loud is even going to get picked up by OBS, or if it's going to like get
Do you want
compressed
me
by
to like?
OBS.
Is this better? Is this better?
Yeah, actually, it's slightly less deep fried now.
Okay, I can just like move my phone away.
Sure.
Sure.
Is this good?
Yeah, it's actually
Okay.
not bad.
That's not bad. Okay, let's actually get to the decks now. Okay, I can
Alright,
barely.
cool.
You're away from me now, but
Well,
if
half
it
the
works,
time,
it works.
half the time I can't hear what you're even saying because you're too muffled to make out. But hopefully that doesn't end up impacting anything.
Okay, I'll just talk loud. I don't know.
Talk loud, slow, and articulate clearly, like how they teach you in public speaking classes.
Okay.
Oh, Ashley, okay, Ashley, save us.
Please save us,
What's
bro.
going on? What's going on?
Okay, we found someone who isn't on a phone.
Styles and I are on our phones, so
Oh my gosh.
Ashley, save
Are
us
you,
from
are
the
you
other phone.
watching? Are you watching the like Subway Surfer compilations? Family
Yeah,
Guy,
yeah.
funny moment. All right. Well,
Yeah, we haven't even
well,
started with our first
is that-
deck yet because we're struggling through technical difficulties right now.
let me actually move
Oh.
locations.
Those, okay.
Um,
Well, oh yeah, Ashley, are you sticking around for the stream?
I got nothing better to do.
Okay, cool. Add yourself to the spreadsheet, and I guess we should actually get started on our first deck.
Alright,
Oh,
yeah.
just
So
crushes
Fox Burn. Yeah.
So Crush Castle is on Foxes.
It's a deck.
Actually doesn't seem that bad. It seems pretty cool.
Conjure Quicksand. Have you ever seen this card before? Conjure Quicksand.
That is absurd. I mean, I don't think this is particularly good.
I think Pup of Marigold Burrow is actually pretty good in this deck.
Yeah, Pup of a Marigold Burrow has been almost good enough if it gets the right cards around it for a while now.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Suitor.
Pop and Ricky are like the reason this deck can exist. I
Yeah.
don't think some cards are very good.
Yeah, like Keen Redtail seems a little sus.
Very
Yeah.
Do you
I think
even as well?
I think it's funny that Keen Redtail is like literally just a fox. Like, it's just a fox.
What do you mean by just a fox?
Like, if you look at like Worried Vulpine, it's like wearing clothes as a staff. You know,
oh, you mean
Rikiri
it's-
Dissident's got a cloak. Third Legion General's at least attacking. Keen Redtail is just a fox sitting there. I'm talking artwork here. I'm talking
I mean,
artwork.
it's also. I mean, it's you know in Magic like how some creature types or some creature types share both normal animals and anthropomorphic animals, and some creature types like split to two, or at least they used to split to two, right? I think.
I don't know.
Well, either ways, so what this means is that cats have way more cards in its tribes than whatever wolves/dogs are doing, because they split those things among like whatever's anthropomorphized or not with werewolves and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like
yeah.
Fox, in MSEM at least, Fox is also like a tribe that shares both animals and furries. Okay. Yeah, I'm
You spent so long with anthropomorphized animals. I thought you were gonna get there.
I'm sorry. It's just too much work to say the whole thing out. It's much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this deck. Actually,
I mean, yeah, No, I'll give it like 3 chili peppers because it's bad in a way that's not fun to commentate, right? Like it's funny, but
I'm
it's
gonna
not fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, this deck's getting 3 foxes out of 5. It's just a burn deck.
What?
Like,
It's-
if you look at a deck that Crush submitted previously, which was like the Fatigue deck, that I feel like had a lot more unique cards, and this runs Obscoriate, Brazen Sacrilege, Scourge, Festival Sabotage, Rikiri Distant.
Wait,
Sideboard, other than Conjure Quicksand, is very just a burn sideboard.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say it just looks like a transformative, like burn sideboard kind of.
it does kind of just seem like a worse burn deck
of course. I mean,
in a certain way.
I think a lot of
Like-
aggro decks, a lot of like funny aggro decks are just worse burn decks.
That's what this is. It's a funny aggro deck that is worse than a burn deck.
Well, actually, no. So there is actually a fun interaction here with Brazen Sacrilege and Pup of Marigold Burrow. If you
Oh,
Brazen
yeah.
Sacrilege, you get to pump up the damage from Pup. So like if you have like 5 mana in a turn, you can
It's true.
Brazen and then put down 3 things with Pup and then smack them for 6.
Simply have 5 mana and 3 1-mana foxes in hand.
I mean, Obscurate is technically ramp if you hit your own things, right?
That's not how you use Obscoriate.
Ricky's coming up with new tech every day.
Hey,
Obscoriate, if you just play like a Doom Traveler turn 1, Obscoriate is basically just rampant growth at instant speed.
Think about it. It's like cleansing wildfire with those indestructible lands, but worse.
Think about it. Rampant growth's rampant growth. Really.
yeah. So do you want to also give a numerical rating? Do we have someone who's giving out numbers here? Because I'm not the one who's giving out numbers.
If people want.
Yeah, you
Okay.
want to do it?
Yeah, you can be a
Sure.
numbers guy.
I'll give it probably like a 4, honestly.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
like-
correct.
4
It is like
chili
half burn though. It is like half burn.
Yeah,
So
but
it can't.
no, the problem with
for me, yeah.
so
I agree with a 4, I think.
the thing with being half burn is like burn is a density based deck. If you're half burn, you're actually worse than being full burn, or you're worse off than
Alright.
being like 0%
That makes
burn.
sense. That makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this next deck is Dodger's deck. This has Realm Stitching, which is one of my favorite cards. I love this card.
Reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you control. Oh, it's like Genesis Wave.
A funny thing about this is how Crattery Attack got made is originally it was a Realm Stitching deck. Then Nyx was running a Crattery in Orange Orchard Artifact.
You just put Trattery
And then
on screen.
What if you just like combine them together and then that deck evolved through like a ton of testing and iteration into a Crattery Attack?
Oh yeah, by the way, for those of you who haven't been around for long enough, Trattery used to be unnerved. It used to have
Lots
a
of
completely
cards
different
used
effect.
to be unnerved.
Well, Trattery used to have a completely different effect before it got nerfed. You can read that. You can pause and read it if you want, but yeah. So Dodger is running 30 lands because they need to hit all their land drops for all their cards that care about land drops and
Yeah,
playing
and
extra
there's
lands.
This is also an Alvarez of the Huntsman deck,
Ooh,
which is why there's 30 lands
That's wild.
specifically, is because that makes the deck at least half lands.
So
Then you just run a bunch of good stuff. Tens of the Grove is guaranteed to hit a ramp card in this deck, which is nice.
so what do you do if you don't draw? If you draw more lands than you want?
You mulligan.
You're trying to play all your lands. I don't think there is a too many lands really.
My one thing about this deck, or the few things, is I think you should run Curse of Encroaching Waters, Off-World Surveyors over like Logger Recluse or
What?
Mountain Run. You know,
Wait, they're running Logger? Oh, they're running nerfed Logger Recluse.
That is a first. I don't think I've seen that card since it got nerfed.
Well, no,
what
no.
did it do before?
It used to be 1 mana.
I remember 1-mana Logger
Man,
Recluse.
Now we got Nitrous Renewer instead.
yeah, Nitrous. I was
Yeah.
actually really excited about Nitrous Renewer because it's like it's the only Logger Recluse we have after Logger Recluse got nerfed.
They're called Arboreal Grazers.
Yeah, the only Aurora Grazers that we have in the format.
The funny thing is, it's probably better than Nerf Logger Recluse.
No,
Definitely better.
no, pre-nerfed Logger Recluse is way better than Nitrous Renewer.
I guess because it's also a threat, yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I guess you weren't
Logger
around back
Recluse.
then, but back when I was playing ramp decks with Logger Recluse, a lot of times if you don't have much to do, you can just start going on Logger beats, and then Like 3 damage per turn is not trivial for your opponent to just ignore.
A 3/4 is pretty hard for decks to deal with.
Well, it used to
At
be
least it was.
3 toughness when it was one mana, but yeah, like 3 power
Oh,
is
yeah.
not.
It's pretty
3/3 is
good.
still tough. Like they'll get by stuff. I'll trade with stuff.
Yeah.
I see Mountain Runt here.
I think it does have like a combo kill with like the Valakut thing plus Realm Stitching.
Realm Stitching. So in my Realm Stitching decks, what you do is you Realm Stitching, then you go for like an untap all your lands, you like draw with your Revelations, RFE and stuff, then you draw into another Realm Stitching, and Realm Stitching puts in more lands untapped. So you can just keep going off, and then eventually you just like combo kill with something. For me, I ran Chromatic Herald and then just attacked with Revelations.
Yeah, and it seems like
Oh.
Dodger is just doing Valakut Hellkite, which does a very good Valakut impression with Realm Stitching.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, so that's why it's called Valakut Hellkite.
You didn't know that?
I didn't realize. So, thoughts about the lack of Alexa in this deck? Would Alexa be good?
Like I said, I think you should run these kind of cards that are like, I get an additional land every turn rather than these one-off grazers, especially Logger Recluse.
Yeah, with Logger Recluse at 2 mana, I think you're getting more value out of an Alexa than a Logger Recluse.
I mean, a Logger
Even like I
Recluse.
said, Encroaching Waters in a 30-land deck, I think might just legitimately be better than Nitrous Renewer.
Nah, I'd still think Nitrous is better just because it's a body that you can put down to protect you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The reason for Logger Recluse might be a creature density thing.
But even like Living Supernova.
I mean, okay, so that thing just, that you can just ramp it with every turn.
Here, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I imagine that's good just because you get like, oh, Nitrous Renewer, turn 2, use Living Supernova's effect, and then you're at 4 mana to end the turn.
And then next turn you like play Alvarez and start discarding lands to it. Actually, you don't want to be discarding lands to Alvarez, do you?
I mean, it's probably a plan in this stack,
It's like a
otherwise it wouldn't
worst case,
bother.
Yeah.
Because that's again the thing of creature density is like knowing that you're gonna have a creature that is functional, has a good ability, lets you like if you don't have any gas, you're at 6 or 7 mana already. You know you can cast your big cards when they come. You don't need more mana, just gonna ping your opponent, make a big trampler.
Yeah.
So if you have a hand that's just ramp and lands, and you know you're gonna have to go find a piece, but it's good beyond that, then maybe it's something you keep if you have like Mountain Runts, something that gives you value off your lands in that situation. It's here for a reason, I'm sure.
All right, are we ranking this like a 6 or a 5.5?
I'd say
I see a 5.5.
okay, sure. I agree. I'll give it
let's
5
run.
chili peppers though because I've never seen this deck before.
I'll give it 5 chili peppers because of Realm Switching.
It's gonna get 4. It's gonna get 4 trees from me. It's not completely like the idea of putting lands like Zubaiji. We've seen Nitrous Renewer. Like I think that there's ideas here that aren't completely unique, but still, it's a 4 forest deck for sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Requiem is on
This
Big
is
Red.
my deck.
100,
This is
100
literally
card
just
red.
my deck. This is my deck. The name, the exact same list. This is literally just my deck. If you scroll down.
So, what do you want to say about this deck?
So it's Big Red. I mean, you've all seen it. This is the exact same list. Like, my list has been used by a lot of people. Funnily, Denoid Poe was on it last GP. Requiem deck listed with it last month, and obviously they're playing it this GP. I'm also playing it this GP. So yeah, there's a lot of this exact same list. I built this like a month and a half ago, maybe. I haven't made any changes since then. I think Culminating Chaos and Mana Overflow, they look like Storm cards, and they are Storm cards, but they're also very good in just like a fair mid-range deck. Like this deck looks like a Storm deck in some of the cards it plays, but like Here's March, you copy a Culminating Chaos, you copy a Mana Overflow, you basically just win the game from that point because of the ridiculous amount of mana and card advantage you're getting. Tunu also just gives you a ton of mana advantage. If you can add Culminating Chaos plus Tunu is just completely ridiculous. You can usually win from that. obviously you got Fire Weaver to fetch anything you want. You're also running kind of a little Ponza package with Starlit Rays, Imperial Siege, Unburdened Rage,
Yeah.
and you've got lots of removal. I know Requiem said to me it plays like almost a mono red tempo deck, and then you just have a ton of CA, a ton of removal, just good cards in general, and I think the deck is extremely solid and a very good deck in my opinion.
So, what's up with all the 3-ups in this deck?
Fire Weaver.
Yeah.
No. Right. Good point. Yeah, I didn't notice.
Fuel for the Fires, a 3-up just because I guess I could cut a Ragavan for it, but you know.
Yeah, why is there also a 2 Conquer Psyche in the sideboard instead of 1?
Conquer
Just in case
Psyche is
you have, like,
really
extra
good.
mana.
I've never seen anyone run 2.
I've seen, like, I know Truk was running 2 in a few decks. I based most of my Fireweaver boards off of some of Truk's decks since I know they play a ton of it, and they were running most of the time 2 Conquer Psyche. So
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Conquer Psyche is one of the best things to get off of Fireweaver, because Fireweaver is until the end of your next turn, so you
Yeah.
can like Unrivaled Fireweaver, Conquer Psyche, and have 2 cards to cast
and
next
then
turn.
you set up like you set up your board like you can go Wayside and then something else if you want to have extra mana.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
you know,
Get a
you
Calm
can get
Name,
2
get a
drops
Mana
like
Overflow.
TFA to set up like your turn 5. Like you can literally just curve Fireweaver is your first turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5 if you set it up properly.
So how has Fuel for the Fire been working out for you? Because that's a new card.
I have not played this deck much, but every single time I drew this card, it was good. It felt good with both artifact hate and creature removal.
Does the treasure ever like become a problem?
Not the one time it was a problem is when I land destruction my opponent and they would have been color screwed, but they were able to use the treasure to get to a land that was colored.
I see. And so what advice would you give to people who are trying to play this deck, especially with the Fireweaver boards and stuff?
Honestly, I have no idea. Like, I think just try and really use your cards that add mana strategically and treat Emissary like one of those. Emissary is an extremely good card. It's almost like a tempo threat. Like Requiem said, you can play this deck like a tempo deck, like an aggro deck sometimes, a control deck almost. If you draw enough removal, you can play it just as like a mid-range deck as well. So I think you really need to just adapt to your matchup is like what I'd say. Like that's what mid-range decks do, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with a wish board.
And I'm assuming like anyone who picks up this deck can just like tinker with the wish board a lot.
Doing wish board, the wish board is like I often don't know what to pick as well. So you know.
Well, I think for this wish board at least, a lot of it is just cards that you would be playing in your main deck anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a few hate cards.
So I mean, you explained yourself really well. I'll give it 4 chili peppers.
I mean, it's
Also-
gonna get 1 fire for me because we've seen this deck for a while now.
I'm not gonna
Fire-
rate this deck because it's my deck. But
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2. 2
I mean,
penguins.
Do you want to give this like a 7 out of 10? That's like it's a 7, right? You described your deck. You say your deck's really strong, so it's obviously a 7.
Yeah. I was gonna say a 6.5 or a 7. This version of red is very good.
Yeah.
Red is very strong right now.
Yeah,
So-
maybe 7.5 to 8. Yeah.
people,
I know.
people
It's
are
not that good.
Like a 7, like a 7.
It's a
4
7.
people are on Big Red this GP and 3 people on this exact list, I think. So
So let's see if it
copy paste.
farms. Also, I feel like I feel like the it's a 7 joke will start like not making sense to people once people join after the bracket
The
system.
brackets now.
Bracket. That's a bracket 3, isn't it?
Yeah. I just want to note now that the spiciness level does not reflect how good I think this deck is. It's a
Let
1
me
because
I'm gonna give myself 5 chili peppers because it's myself.
Yeah, obviously.
it's a 1 because Fireweaver's been good since the day it was printed. Pretty much all of these cards have been good since they were printed.
I mean, they did innovate by putting the rituals like
Mana
Menace.
Overflow
Even
and
then,
Culminate and Chaos are my main innovations for this deck.
Culminating Chaos has been good for a while. The Mana Overflow I will give you, but like Culminating Chaos has been this deck for a while, I feel, and
I haven't
is-
seen
it's-
anyone else doing it since.
And even then, like a lot of these are cards that have come around. Like I've seen versions of this deck list with maybe 1 or 2 cards different in 100 cards. I'll give it 2 fires for the innovations, the different cards, but it's just a deck that I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen for many months now.
I mean, yeah, like it's good. People are gonna play it.
And we're gonna see more of them in the future because that
Yeah.
isn't even Aang's version of the
There's
deck.
also
So
4 people on it this GP, making it by far most represented deck. So
Yeah,
our
let's.
next
good
deck
luck
is
with
another
that
deck that's been
1.5.
around
Next-
for a
okay.
moment.
everyone, scroll down to the sideboard.
We don't need to scroll down. We can just look at the sideboard.
Oh wait, you guys aren't on mobile.
Oh yeah,
Look at
people on their
Tinbeard.
phones. Yeah, this is Tin Beard Stash. It is
How do you cast that?
it's a Dead Man's Hand deck, but you can run Tin Beard because every non-land card is an artifact because Mechanus is an artifact, and even if it wasn't, it
Reshaper.
says artifact.
Okay, but how do you
It's
cast
just
this?
Reshaper, but we put in Tinbeard.
Distilled
It's another
Inspiration.
Christmas stuff too as well.
You could use Distilled Inspiration, I guess.
Hub of Innovation as well is something that is quite good.
Of Innovation is a good card.
One of Titan Snare in the main to be tutored is fun.
That's funny. Yeah.
I don't know if it's good, but it's very funny.
That's certainly going to
Alright,
ruin someone's day.
We've seen this deck a lot before. It's Dead Man's Hand. You
Okay,
Dead
I'm
Man's Hand. You Reshaper.
Even has battery now.
Okay.
All right.
We have Bodega. You see Ubitsa 4s, the new cards from MC25. It's still really good. It's as good as it was the day that people learned how Dead Man's Hand worked with Dimensional Reshaper before Reshaper itself was nerfed.
Yeah, it's good. Like
Yeah.
I'll just give it 1 chili pepper because actually I'll give it 3 for Tinbeard. Actually no, Tinbeard is good enough. I'll give it a 5.
It's getting 2 robots out of 5 for me.
Yeah, it's getting
Let me
because,
give it 5 robot. Actually, I'll give it 4 robots. Yeah.
Tinbeard's taken up 1 slot in the sideboard, and I don't think there are any deck building concessions that had to be made to put it in. Just running a card in the sideboard.
They
So
put
getting
in
an extra robot for having a one of Titan
Funny
Snare in
though.
the main.
That's
That's funny.
they ran Distilled Inspiration to cast Tinbeard. Okay.
Yes, I pointed that out when
So
Distilled
that
Inspiration
is
was already in the deck. That's not an innovation.
I'm
The deck
pretty sure
already ran Distilled Inspiration,
in
so
the
that doesn't
deck.
matter.
no. The
Also,
previous
you're not
Distilled
running-
Inspiration
you're
was
running
definitely in Dead
blue.
Man's Hand decks.
Yeah, it was not.
I-
Not
I've
really.
Seen this.
have you been keeping
I've
up?
seen this card way too many times
Yes, but
in
not in
my
this
life
deck.
for it to not be in this deck.
It wasn't
You've
in the
seen it
version
in
that was
mine.
broken.
Running.
You've seen it in my storm decks.
Asti, are
You're
you
still
like
getting 2
outdated?
robots.
Have you not been keeping
blue
up?
rail line and not black
I don't
one.
look. I can just leave if you want. I'm not gonna take anything from you, Ricky.
I'm sorry, Asti.
I'm
Please
not
don't
gonna.
leave.
I'm just trying to participate. I'm not gonna take condescension today.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I have better things to do with my life.
I'm sorry.
I don't want you laughing at that either, because this is serious shit.
Okay. Anyways, Reshaper.
Also, wrong rail line.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, I was gonna point that out. It should be the black one.
That is funny. Yeah.
Maybe there's no. They want to cast Marilight too.
Oh, I feel like you still want to run the black one because you're like always getting it into your hand anyway.
No,
first mate.
you're not always
You're
going to.
probably only getting him in very like occasional matchups.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the only time you like bring in Tinbeard is if you're flooded, if your hand's flooded, so at least you switch out a land for it or something.
Beard just makes more mana though.
Oh yeah, good point.
That's the funny thing. I don't think Tinbeard's good, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Anyways,
Alright.
let's move on.
Shifang is in the sideboard. That's the first thing I notice. This is Soldier Sue.
Yep. We have Rial. We have Ystelion Vanguard, Epoch Warden.
Who was like who made this deck? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Toasty was experimenting with it a bit, but we saw Cadentry do very well with it, and it looks like a very good deck. You've got Sue's a soldier. You're running Soldier Tribal almost. You've got Hictalion's Vanguard, which is kind of insane with Sue or Rial or Epic Warden, or your deck's built around this stuff. But yeah.
How does Jack interact with the
It
Master
triggers.
Zeus?
It triggers, but only for itself, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's abilities of that creature triggers though it entered. So Jack would essentially enter, pump your board.
So yeah,
And then
it's
swing and
also
pump.
just like a bushwhacker. That's also just very like Jack on its own without the Sue buff. I think you could reasonably play in this deck. I don't know if it'd be, maybe not.
Jack's
Maybe other cards
Jack's
would be
pretty
better.
good.
But it's a
I mean,
bushwhacker that also bushwhacks again when you play other legends.
Yeah, I know how insane
and
Jack
it
is.
bushwhacks every turn with the Master Zero Real.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, it's good.
so for Sign of Silence, were they on this before?
No, notably, Sign of Silence is not a when, so it does not work with Sue or Rial.
It's just good.
Yes, it's just a good soldier.
Like
It
that?
does actually. It works with Epic Warden, but just like dies immediately. So
I guess
wait,
it's
did I
really.
say Epic? That's Epoch. Oh my god.
It does. Yeah, I mean, for epoching something, you'd rather be hitting your Vanguard or
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
Jack, or even
Vanguard
like
is basically like I play this, I get my Rialzu or Epoch Warden, I blink it, and then good luck.
I feel like I've definitely played against this deck before, although I don't remember when.
Yeah, Cannon Tree and Toasty, I've been playing it over like last month, maybe the month before that.
Mhm.
Interesting removal option of 4L bodies, because I feel like the 1/1s are going to be troublesome for some big
Yeah.
creatures.
Yeah. Yeah, it might
I
be like
agree
annoying
with
just to
you.
like chump a giant. Like if you have like a 6 attack or a 5 power guy, just chumping with the 1/1 might cost you like an extra turn.
Oh no, it's because Jack also
Mhm.
some of the guys in the deck have 1 toughness.
That's true.
Mhm.
But maybe like they tested it out and figured that L body is still better than everything else out there.
Mhm.
I mean, like there really isn't that many other 1 mana options for hard removal. So I guess
I'll
like
give it 2 ninjas.
2 ninjas.
I don't know, I couldn't find a better soldier emoji, okay?
Yeah.
I'll give it.
military
Why are you
helmet.
taking my shtick, Ang? Man.
I'll give it a military helmet instead.
Yeah. You're using the exact. I think you're using the same website I am, because when I looked up soldier, I got
I
a
am
military
using
helmet.
the same
Yeah.
website as you.
Well, it's getting 3 pandas for Master Zoo out of 5.
I'll have
It-
hit sure. I'll go back to chili peppers.
All right.
What are we giving this as a ranking? Like a 5.5 or a 6?
I'd say a 7.
I don't know
It's a
about
Is that
7.
good?
I mean,
It is a very good
Is this deck
Like,
better
I
than
don't know if it's as good as
Reshaper?
Big Red, but it's a good deck. I think it's better than Nyx's version of Reshaper.
sure, I trust you,
Okay.
Ange. You're
All
more
right.
up to date on the meta than I am, because I haven't spent
Yeah, same.
much time actually playing Magic recently.
Splash Cat is on Big Red, but a different list.
There's a
Slightly
1
different.
of paint with Starflame.
We're on Lieutenant Daisy
Also,
Saxon
yeah,
as well.
good card.
Yeah, it's basically almost the same with a few slight differences.
Yeah, it's the same deck. We've
You
talked
can
Oh,
about
just
Fire
copy it
Weaver.
over.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll
It's just
keep
the
the
sideboard's a bit different.
3 on Burden
Okay.
Rage in the sideboard instead
I
of the
probably
main.
gotta go for a second, so
Okay, sure.
It's a
3 on Burden Rage
7.5.
instead of in the main board. I guess it's less Ponza-y in that way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Only 1 Conquer Psyche. Splash Guide is definitely not like going deep into the Conquer Psyche plan.
Cat and Tree is on Master Zoo. It looks like the only difference in between the decks is it's on Scorch and not Out of Body.
Huh.
And instead of the Epoch Wardens, it's going to 4 on Rial and Jack.
I think Scorch probably ends up being better than L Body in most
I
scenarios.
gotta
agree.
go. Now
Okay.
someone else can continue the
All
ratings
right.
if they want.
Thanks for sticking with
All right,
us,
I'll see you
Ange.
later.
Bye.
So,
Right,
yeah. I think Scorch probably ends up being better than L Body in this deck. Although I guess maybe
Yeah.
you want L Body to just hard remove stuff that you can't attack past.
Yeah, we also can get like for like the extra little reach for Scorch.
Yeah. Oh, Line Officer.
Mhm.
What's the other version on Line Officer? Yeah, Line Officer. Have you seen this card before?
No.
Styles.
It's cool. I saw that immediately. I've been moused over for a couple seconds. Just
Is this card like what does this card do again?
haste, deploy 5, which is as it enters, you can tap a number of other creatures you control with a total power 5 or more. And if it enters deployed, it does 3 damage to each creature opponents control. So it's kind of a Shaldrain's Rage effect of
It cooks their board, so
cooking boards, yeah.
How easily can you get the deploy off in this deck?
I think it's easy if you have Real and not easy otherwise. Or if you have
Yeah.
if you have Hectalion's Vanguard or Real, then you're
is it
probably good.
is it
Otherwise, not.
possible to get line officer deployed on curve? I don't
Probably
think so,
not.
right? Yeah, it's not.
Mm.
Or maybe it is. You would need 3 power 2 drop. Do you have that? Like you already have a 2 power 1 drop.
You have a 2 power. You have a 2 power 1 drop. You have a 2 power 3 drop. I don't think so.
There's probably like some weird jack line that lets you do it, but I'm not going
I
to
don't think
think
you
about
need it to be deployed on curve necessarily. There aren't really. The only deck it would be good against is the mirror match, is playing it on curve.
Yeah, that'd be a complete
But
blowout.
Yeah.
yeah, this thing should be a blowout regardless, though, because even if opponent would need 2 vanguards for their board to survive, because otherwise, just Vanguard dies, its buff goes away, everything else dies.
Yeah.
But not my creature. I mean, it's a 3-mana 3/2. It's got haste. It can board wipe.
Repeatedly, I think, right? Can you deploy
Well,
off the
it's an as it
re-triggers?
enters effect,
Oh,
so no.
that's unfortunate. Oh, wait, no. But then you have a when it enters deployed. So if you deploy it once, does that mean that it's going to trigger every time you or every time you attack?
Well, it didn't enter deployed because
Well,
like the deploy is in as it enters, you can tap so many
yeah, but
creatures and then enter
is
deployed.
deploy like supposed to be a persistent state? So like once you deploy it, then it's always going to be deployed.
Well, it enters deployed.
Enters.
I mean,
we would need to ask Cajun about this, I think, and I think it
I
might
think
actually
it's
matter.
in my mind. I think there's absolutely no way that Zoo would cause it to trigger again. I don't think that's how deploy works,
Well, you
or
wouldn't
any
need
effect like that
you
works.
wouldn't need to tap your things again. Like it's just going to be always deployed, and every time you attack, you just get to board
I
wipe
don't
for
think
free.
that's how deploy works. It doesn't make any sense for it to work like that. No other as it enters effects work like that.
I mean, does exploit work like that? I actually don't know. Well, I don't think there's
think
anything in
Aspie's
canon
right.
that copies or that lets you trigger attacks on.
Well, because
Right?
exploit is a when it enters, you can sack a creature,
Oh,
not an as it enters.
huh. Okay, well, hey, Ashley, can you like ask being a judge about this, and we can like continue on, and then we can see how the judge responds later.
We can ask a judge later.
But ask him now so that we get the answer like before the stream ends.
I have an idea.
All right.
I'm just gonna do this. There's the comprehensive rules.
Are we really reading the comprehensive rules right now?
Well, there's a rule for deployed.
Are you looking in bot?
A permanent enters deployed as it enters the battlefield if its deploy cost was paid. It might actually work that way.
Yeah.
This is once permanent becomes deployed, stays deployed until it leaves the battlefield. Permanent enters battlefield. Enters deploys enters battlefield if its deploy cost was paid. So I don't know because this is once a permanent becomes deployed, it stays deployed until it leaves the battlefield. A permanent enters deployed as it enters the battlefield if its deploy cost was paid. So I don't think you can pay the deploy cost because you don't get the as this enters effect.
Yeah, but
It doesn't really matter. I'm not playing against this deck. I don't care.
how do you know you're not playing against it?
I didn't sign up for the
Oh,
GP.
I mean, I guess that's one way to avoid playing against decks you don't like.
I simply do not see it. All right, well,
All right, let's move on.
now.
Oh yeah.
All right, Duravos is on ramp.
Oh, Iviana speaker. Okay, so it's Splashcat's deck, I think, and
yeah, Iviana started to come up in these decks.
So from what Splashcat said, apparently Iviana is actually really good in this ramp deck.
Oh, I've heard, yeah. I mean, it's card draw, it's damage, it's threats. I don't think the deck isn't really on dragons other than Tyrant, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it seems hard for like creature decks to remove it. You literally can just zero like it like so many times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess like if you get to the
card
point
draw.
where you can drop this, then you just win
Also
against
just
creature
makes
decks.
5/5s, which is pretty good.
Right, it also makes 5. It draws 2 cards and then makes a bunch of 5/5s. So, but otherwise,
Suri Rift is interesting. I don't think I've seen that card before.
Apparently, extra turn spells are good in ramp or something.
Hard to believe, honestly.
I mean, that is hard to believe because most ramp decks don't run extra turn spells.
That's true. I remember when what's the 5-mana card that lets you free cast stuff? You cast it for Wooburg. That was added in somewhere.
Are you
wild
talking
card,
about
I
Canon
guess.
or MSEM?
It was MSEM.
Well, I meant a card that lets you free. Are you talking about Zero?
Let me find. Face Your Demons. Face Your Demons.
I've never heard about. I never heard that
What
card
was
before.
that on the MC24?
Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
Really? It was like in deck building for a while. It's you discard your hand, draw 3 cards. If you spend at least Wooburg to cast it, you can cast those cards for free. Because the idea was if you had like studies, if you had a way to make yourself draw more cards, the way it's worded is that you could free cast all of those. So you would use, I think it was LaRoe's study, to draw way more cards than 3, and then you get a free cast all of them. I don't think it ever became a deck, but it was in deck building for a while. Unrelated though.
Yeah.
But I put Time in a Bottle in a build of that deck,
Time in the bottle.
which is augmented, draw cards, take an extra turn, I believe.
But yeah, otherwise, I mean, this is your pretty standard. I mean, I guess it's standard issue. Verdant Sanctuary ramp deck. We have Verdant Sanctuary, and then ways to let you play extra lands with Alexa and Zubadia, and you also got Field Tender so that you can get some extra bonuses from playing out these lands and stuff.
Yeah, Field Tender is really good.
I agree.
I've seen it. You can just absolutely flood the board in a very short period of time. Gets 1 tree. How good is this deck? What do we think?
I mean, it's proven itself. I think
6.5.
6.5.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. 6.5. I'll give it 4 chili peppers because I kind of like I like ramp, and it is like this is very much a deck that branched off what I started building or what I first introduced. Remember back
next
when
we have Epid.
Okay, fine. Yeah, let's move on.
On Buy Time All or Nothing.
Ooh,
I think this is a pretty strong deck.
Casino Scam Bot here. Monkey Shines. I didn't know people still ran that card. I haven't seen this card since I was running. Gosh, I have to go look up the card again.
Well, I mean,
I haven't seen this card since I was running Infuse the Apparatus before that got nerfed.
I was running Monkey Shines like back when Polymorph wasn't nerfed.
Polymorph.
So we had some polymorphs in the format that were instant speed, and then after I made it to the finals with a polymorph deck, it got nerfed to sorcery speed, and then it kind of just fell out.
Space Oddity.
Yeah, Space Oddity and True Form. Was it True Form Revelation? Hey, I have a promo for this. I have a top 8 promo for this card. But yeah, this card used to be instant speed, which was nutso because then you can actually do a Splinter Twin kind of thing where you play decks that don't have any creatures, and you just make tokens and try to do the twin thing where you try to tempo them while holding up I win 4-mana instant speed spell.
Pretty good.
Yeah, but now I can't. But now I got nerfed to sorcery, so yeah. But yeah,
this deck's like cool, I guess.
Like sideboard tech seems pretty good with Cosmic Coalescing.
Oh yeah, it is running Cosmic.
Cosmic Coalescing is one of my favorite cards. I've never built a deck around it because I am bad at playing Magic. But I like it.
It's running a Heart of the Dina in the sideboard for Cosmic. That's very interesting. Is Heart of the Dina ever going to do stuff in this deck?
I mean, it's probably just there as a land that exists.
So you can fetch lands with the
Cosmic. I
don't
think you really need it.
I guess it's. I mean, so like Casino Scam does want lots of mana to get off their combo, and like if they have enough mana, they can do the entire combo in a single turn instead of having to split between multiple turns, which is really good for them because then they don't have to, because they literally die if they take too many turns.
That's true.
So I guess like if you're at 6 mana, you grab this, you go up to 10 mana, and then you can just do the entire combo in a single turn.
And you just need a Sacred Songs.
Yeah.
Or have that out, and then you win.
I also we haven't mentioned Kyoro. They're running Kyoro just as a mid-range top end, so that they're not like 100% priced into winning with a combo.
Kyoro is a very good card, a very good Magic card, and Unrelenting in this deck is a pretty solid a pretty solid Kyoro target.
Oh yeah, right.
No matter the situation.
I thought you meant to say that Unrelenting can get Kyoro, right?
It can
get Kyoro, but
it can get Buy Time too.
It gets both parts. Oh yeah, actually, Unrelenting is really nice here.
that's-
Yeah.
Yeah, Unrelenting gets here. By the time it gets here, All or Nothing gets your board wipes.
But why
There's
are you only
Kylo.
running?
It even gets Valdez, even if you really want Valdez.
But why
for
are you
some
only
odd
running 3
reason.
copies if you want multiple copies?
Sideboard.
Is there one copy in the sideboard? There isn't.
There isn't.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I think you should be on 4 then for sure.
Well, anyways, I'll give it like 4 chili peppers for like it's Casino Scam, but Casino Scam has been kind of out of the format currently.
It's gonna get two casinos for me. It's Casino Scam. I mean, you make a fair point that Casino Scam's been going for a while, but
I do like Unrelenting in this deck because it just increases a lot of the. Actually, what's the word to describe like looking at a deck and seeing how it all connects together and feeling really good about it?
do I look like a dictionary?
But you know what? You know the feeling I'm talking about, right? When you look at a deck list and you can see like how all the cards fit together, and you
Like
see
cohesiveness.
Oh yeah, cohesiveness. Like
That works.
I think Unrelenting makes the deck feel a lot more cohesive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
How would we rate it?
I'd say like 6 or 6.5. I think it's pretty well built.
I think it's a
6.5.
6.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of the numbers. I'm giving it a 6.
Sure.
I don't think this deck's better than I don't think this deck's as good as Reshaper.
Why is Reshaper a
That's fair.
6.5 anyways? It should be a 7, right?
Probably.
I mean,
Reshaper
and is
that
gone now,
good?
so there's nothing stopping us from changing the numbers.
We can't. Not every deck can be above average. That's not how averages work.
No. So these decks are above average because have you seen? Because think about all the possible decks that are able to be built within this card pool, and think about how many of them are bad. That's why
If we do
most
that,
decks
then
that get brought here are
every
above
deck's a 10 out of 10 because of limited decks.
I
And
mean,
like, here's my deck. It's 40 common giant green creatures and 20 forests.
no, I don't think it's any. I think it's better than the mono island deck though, at least.
Well, I think there's also degrees of. I think our rating system gets worse if every deck is in a range of like 3 options, except for meme decks.
Well,
Like, there's not really much point in rating if everything's in either a 7.5, a 6.5, or a 7.
I mean, tell that to the video game reviewers.
I'm not a video. We're not talking about video games. We're not. We're talking about Magic cards. We're talking about MSEM. You know, if I had a problem with video game reviewers, I'd go to IGN and send them an email. You know, but I don't.
Okay, fine. Sure, we'll let it be an 8. I mean, let it be a 6 then.
All right.
Now let's move on. Cat Counts on Legends. It's the same
Ooh.
Legend decks we saw last GP.
I think it's Gal's deck.
Yeah.
Is there any changes? I don't think there's any
The
changes.
Lost and Seeking is new from Gao's version. That and Luna, that and I think Penrose came out like after Gao stopped playing as much or stopped playing this deck. But
Something like that. But Gal started playing the deck again after the Lost and Seeking got printed.
yeah, it's Legends. This deck's been in the format for a super long time. It's been in GPs for a long time. It's only Legend. I don't know what I could possibly
Stars?
put as the emoji for this one.
I mean stars, right? Because it's kind of like Legends are like stars.
Well, they can't all be stars. The deck is only Legends.
No, there's
If your
some
team has
non-legends.
if your team has 15 LeBrons on it, then you don't have a star. You know
Okay,
That
but
makes sense.
Emperor's
Hey,
Retainer
that's
isn't a legend, so it's not all legends.
what is
Who's
it?
like the star of this deck then?
Emperor's Retainer.
Who's like the LeBron of
Who's
Legends?
the LeBron of the Legends deck?
Probably the Lost and Seeking. Like that card's absolutely
Yeah.
nuts.
I was just gonna say Jack.
Jack or Lost and Seeking, or I mean also Emma the Traveler, drawing 5 cards if you're lucky.
Emma is very good.
Drawing
It's probably
0
the
cards.
easiest emoji to get, so I'm gonna give this deck. I'll give it 2 Amorets out of 5, represented by the baby angel emoji.
Sure. And I guess this deck is probably a 7. I mean, it's 6.5 because apparently that's our new 7. Maybe a 6.
We have a 7s. We would be a new 7.
Well, you rated Soldier. I mean, I guess that's fine. If
That
you're
was
rating Soldier,
Aang rating that, not me.
well, then we have to tune our ratings to match that rating.
How good is this deck? I don't know.
Apparently, Gal said it's really good, so
Well, yeah, they're running it.
they're not running it all the time.
I think mono blue flyers is really good. It's not gonna get rated very highly, you know.
I mean, mono blue flyers on a good day could be a 7.
Mono blue flyers is not a 7.
If it was built correctly, maybe it would into the right meta.
I think like Teamer Falconer did get printed,
And then got
maybe.
nerfed.
We got nerfed. Oh,
Yeah.
how bad is it now?
You can look at Teamer Falconer.
Oh, let's pull it up here. What changed? Oh, the trigger no longer scries.
Wait, is that all it
That would
does?
have been nice, but I don't think that's a downside. It's still a really good turn too for a deck with a bunch of flyers.
I swear this card got
Yeah.
nerfed more. Did it only lose the scry? Why did it
That's
see
all
no
I saw
play
on
then?
Instigator.
Because I remember it seeing like play and then it got nerfed and nobody played it.
Scrying's really good. Like the creature scaling is good for like an aggro deck, but for like a mid-range deck, I imagine that the scrying regularly is better than the pump effect. So yeah.
Anyway, so what? 6.5? Is that what we're giving it?
Sure.
Sure.
The ratings don't matter. Like we're not, Stephen A. Smith. We're not real analysts here.
The ratings don't matter unless we have an actually good person in the booth.
Yeah, when we have like Dodger here, whoever normally does the numbers actually knows what they're talking about, then it looks great.
Yeah, or remember back when we had Purple in the booth? Purple was
nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
Purple had such a good pulse on the what was it saying again? Purple really had the feeling about
Pulse on the format.
yeah, pulse on the format.
Finger to the pulse, yeah. Ear to the ground. We'll move on now.
Yeah,
though.
so Hersey is running Road to Awe, I think.
I don't see Road to Awe, whatever that card is.
Is it just Reanimator?
The
Yeah,
deck is called Road
it
to Awe
lands.
for some reason. I don't know why. I think Cody did explain, but I completely forgot because I wasn't paying attention because I was commentating at the same time. But basically, it's a deck where you try to mill yourself super hard and then reanimate a Clawing Shaman, which brings back your entire graveyard, which also brings back Lion's Vanguard, which gives your entire board haste.
Mm-hmm.
Haste and trample.
Yeah.
And you probably have like a Danathan Muck Bruisers and other stuff, and then you just win.
Yeah, and then you this version now has a bit more major engine stuff with Muck Bruiser and Elmo Wong and Tomb Steward and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also has an inevitable feature for more reanimation spells, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there anything
I feel
new
like half
here?
the sideboard. Yeah, like half the sideboard has like all artifact hate.
Someone really doesn't like artifacts.
I mean, if any card type is gonna make Reanimator sad, I guess it would be artifacts, because that's your sealed gateways and your like.
That's true.
We don't have Grafdigger's Cage, but cards like that.
Also, I'm looking at Fallacy Sanctifier. I've never seen this card before. So when it enters, you exile up to 3 target cards from graveyards. I guess that's
Well,
that's grave hate.
Self-report?
It also has recite, so you can use it from graveyard. Wait, it has colorless recite. That's actually really interesting. So if you mill this thing over, you get to exile 3 cards at instant speed for 2 colorless mana. Huh.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is very cool.
All right, that's gonna up it for 3 penguins for me then. That tech.
It's Roll to Awe. I'll give it 3 chili peppers. It's the same deck.
Yeah, I'll give it 3. I mean, at the very least, yeah, it's a similar deck, but I think he's only really Hertzy running this deck in the format at least. I'm gonna give it 2 zombies.
I'm being extra
Rated
generous today.
6. What was that?
6.5 maybe?
It's a 6.
Fine. You clearly have not seen this deck in action.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. So why are you
Decks
giving
have
it
to be rated some. The rating doesn't matter. If the deck wins, then the deck wins. Maybe it'll fuel a Hertzy.
If you're gonna fuel
the haters.
If you just feel, just give them like a 1.
Yeah. No, a 1 is way too obvious. Give it a 5. That's how you really feel someone.
Yeah. I'm getting a 5.
This is because 1 is clearly joking. 5 is like at that plausible border of deniability where you really think that maybe they're just completely wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll keep it a 5.
Alright, Angineer, Big Red. We get a copy
It's
paste.
the exact same deck. Yeah.
They
copy
even
paste.
explained the deck to us, so that's extra nice.
That's Reshaper pile. Yeah, we already know this deck works. Baboom.
Okay, moving on. Silver is playing Toka.
which has been played. I think it was someone else, but
No, it's this guy who played Toka before.
it's still Toka. I haven't really seen this deck in action, so I don't know. These cards seem the same though from when it was last played.
If you haven't seen a deck in action, then like, how do you know?
I know that I can read the deck list, you know.
Yeah,
I can
okay,
read the box score.
Okay, Assy, but look, Assy. So if I put a Fireweaver 8-sack deck list in front of you and you read the deck list, would you be able to understand how the deck works?
I mean, it depends. Maybe I vaguely I can see some of the stuff that this deck does. It is using, you know, your reanimation effects, cares about stuff dying, is trying to move stuff around.
So basically, I'm pretty sure there's an infinite combo in here somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Toka looks like a card that has an infinite combo. It puts finality counters on stuff, so I don't know if there's a way to prevent that. But like,
there is, I think. I don't remember what the exact combo is, but there is an infinite combo
I
in
do
here.
see that because there's Nyrix and there's Shadowbinder. That's the combo. That's what I remember. Because you sack Nyrix, add blue, or whatever. You can't spend it to cast spells from your hand, but you activate Nyrix's ability. It comes back from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Yep.
Do that forever. That or I mean, I guess you could do that with Shadowband Console too if you have 2 Twilight Blade effects, because then you would offset the life loss.
Yep.
But that's the combo.
You got it, Assy.
And then everything else is support for that kind of idea. That and like you have Young Necro and Channeler is just a good card.
There's Cephalosaurus Flukes, which is a very interesting card. I don't think anyone else has been running this card.
Every time I see this card, I think I really want to make a deck where I can run this, but I can't run this in the deck that I'm making right now. But I love the idea of this card. Like, I like playing modal dove face cards to some extent. I'm glad that there's like 5 of them. I don't want.
Wait.
I think it's missing power and toughness.
Yeah, I was about to mention.
Whoa!
I don't actually know how big this thing is.
I think it's a 1-1.
Are you sure it's a 1-1? What if it's a 2-2? Will your opponents call you out for it if you try to play it off as a 2-2?
Let's put that in. See, now we can let's see here. I wonder, is there a way to pull up specific printings with LackeyBot?
I'm not sure.
I think
Actually,
only on Instigator.
Actually, there is a way, because I know I can do. You just have to like put in the full name that would show when you're on Cockatrice. So it's like the name and then appended with the set name.
Yeah.
Actually, if you just do Cephalosaurus Flukes, the first printing is the one that has.
Alright, it's in there.
Okay, fine.
I just copied it. Well, I like infinite combos. This deck I think is pretty good. It performs.
Sure. I'll give it 4 chili peppers because I mean it's a known quality, but like it is an interesting deck.
Yeah.
Grixis.
In honor of Nyrix, the Soul Cage. Okay, there's no emojis for Soul or Cage, so shoot.
Skull emoji, I guess.
Yeah, sure. We're gonna go generic skull emoji. This will get 2 skull emojis because I like it. What are you rating this deck?
6.5.
Yeah, that works. All right, Lilasaur is on Reshaper, but not
a little different, yeah.
This is more of a stormy kind of version with Ride the Storm.
I mean, Ride the Storm isn't exactly a storm card, right? No, it is a storm card.
It has storm in the name. How could it not be a storm card?
It doesn't storm.
That's how storm works.
It doesn't have storm in the text.
It has storm in the name, and that's close enough.
So 4 Ride the Storm, 1 Taste Brilliance. So that's 5 ways to refill your hand if you get enough things on board.
Yeah. This is just a less. It's a different form of Reshaper. It's one that isn't trying to cast Tinbeard, but that's all about I can think. That's really different.
I mean,
yeah.
Reshaper usually Reshaper doesn't try to cast Tinbeard either, like normal Reshaper.
Yeah.
What did this deck cut to make room for the storm cards?
It's only on 2 of Soul Synthesizer, so
is that?
I think it cut lands too, because it's only on 15 lands.
15 lands. I
It is, yeah, it's on 7 coal lines, or it's on 7 rail lines, but 15 land still seems low.
yeah, that's going to make your mulligans really bad.
Yeah.
Just draw good. Have you thought about that?
And like, how are you planning to make the colors for these guys? Because I mean, I see that you're playing non-colorless lands now, but
lines?
like you're playing non-colorless lands now, and only a few copies. I don't think you.
Well, really important isn't even really a non-colorless land.
Okay, fair, but like,
Sunrise River is a land. I don't know.
how are you going to get access to your colors? Like, you have unmarked vials. You're not playing the other thing that color fixes you, and
Oh, you're playing
problem.
unmarked vials.
yeah, but that's it. Like, I don't think that's enough color fixing for what you want to do.
Ricky, have you tried just drawing your colored lands?
Yeah, it usually doesn't work out for me.
Well, see, that's the problem. Mechanus is basically a land search card because your lands are colorless.
I mean, artifact or color. Okay, yeah, I see. I mean, sure.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, this deck gets 3 trains from me because I don't see Reshaper running Ride the Storm very often.
I'll give it 4 chili peppers for like at least trying to add some extra colors to Reshaper, but like
Yeah,
I'm
give it
not
a
sure
3.
about the mana base.
5.5.
Is China Crusader still enabled all the time? Yeah, it is, right? You don't actually have any colored permanents in play.
No. 4 of Shining Crusader, turn 1, play a like red permanent Cry. That's a 5.5, I suppose.
Really? 5.5?
Poet.
You're not going to give it a 6 at least? I mean, it's a Reshaper deck. It's going to do
It should be
Reshaper
like a
things.
6. It should be like a 6.
If regular Reshaper is a 6.5, and like I think if Casino Scams is 6, this is a 5.5.
Fine. So moving on, Giant Poet is
On the
playing.
numbers.
Oh, this deck again.
Oh, this is the other version, right? Or is it the other version?
This is the
one
version with paint
3
and
unburdened.
Mage.
Yeah.
So this
Okay,
is Splashes Big Red. So we're gonna.
So there's 2 competing big red builds right now. Let's see who comes out on top.
All right, we have. I didn't even put all the decks in here. Gosh.
Chumpek is playing Clearix, except it's nerfed now, so it doesn't have the infinite anymore. So I guess that's why Chumpek's emo, because they don't have the infinite anymore, so they're sad about that.
Yeah, I guess so.
So Warden.
That's my Game Post Explorer. I made that one. Yo.
Wait, what?
That's my lair. That's my secret lair.
Oh, I thought you designed the card.
Man, I wish I designed love songs. That's awesome.
Did you? I don't remember if I already asked you, but like, did you submit any cards to the wild card?
I don't think I did. I'm not a card designer.
You missed
I don't
out.
even know why I'm still. I don't really know I'm still here, man. I don't play this format. I don't design cards for this format.
No, I appreciate you're here because I appreciate having someone that I have good chemistry with in the booth.
Yeah, the one MSEM match I can catch every 3 days with my schedule. And if you can commentate it, I can be there too. It works out perfectly.
You remember the unicorn game?
I do.
Yeah, wait, Styles, were you around? Were you around back then?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Because you were around back then too. Yeah. I mean,
I think this deck is kind of just bad without the combo.
Really?
Like
no, it's
there's a decent base here, but I think the deck needs the ability to combo to really be good.
Asti,
I've played against this deck multiple times,
but nerfed the nerfed version.
I haven't played against it without. I haven't played against it without the combo, but when I do play the deck, it's like there's a lot of value, but like you're looking at these, and I don't think this deck has the same legs without the combo. I just don't think it does.
Asti, have you played against the version that had both Dark Sand Acolyte and like 8 copies of 2-drops that draw cards on life gain?
Yes, I mean Sun Sigil Ordainer, Machi Initiate, Dark Sand Acolyte, those have been in this deck historically, I'm pretty sure.
Machi Initiate is somewhat recent, right?
It was against the deck when I played it last.
When was Machi Initiate printed, anyways? Because I remember
RCM wasn't. RCM hasn't been.
2023, which is 2 years ago by now. Wow.
Yeah, that was May of 2023. So it's bad time to be in the deck. I'm not gonna hate too much on it. Like it's probably it's at least a it's probably a 5.5.
Wait, it's running China of the Veil. I just noticed it's running a sack package now.
That's true. Yeah, because on Gateless Explorer.
Wait, graveyard.
I mean, you have Keeper of the Sanctum and Imp Den Mother. Imp Den
Yeah.
Mother. Wow. That's why it's emo clerics. That makes a lot more sense.
So like, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm starting to lean more on this deck not being as cohesive as it should be, because I feel like the sack stuff. Like, how does the sack stuff interact with Soul Sister stuff?
I think the whole interaction is just Keeper of the Sanctum makes a token every once in a while. Sack your token.
There has to be
Like
some.
there really isn't.
There has to be some sort of other synergy, right? Because otherwise, you're not like you don't want to run the sack package just because you're randomly sacking one thing every turn.
I guess they're just. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay, well, I'll give it 3 chili peppers, I guess.
I think I'm gonna give this deck a 5.
Really, I think 5 is a bit low. I mean, 5 is what you
I
gave
think
Hersey's deck. We need Hersey's deck
I
to be
think
below
that feels
everyone.
about right. I mean, like if you compare it to Lilasaur's Reshaper, like that deck is worse than regular Reshaper. But I think that with this deck being a little bit messy without the combo, like you said, it's just not as cohesive. It doesn't have the same focus. I think that's going to lose. It's going to lose a decent amount of points from me for that reason.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, Ricky Rister's deck.
Oh.
It's burn.
Yeah, I still haven't found a replacement deck after Esper Kalen got nerfed. But that's also like partly because I haven't really been spending that much time actually playing MSEM recently. So
I'd ask you to explain your deck, but it's been around for a very long time now.
not that long. It's only been around since Beyond the Blackwall, right? With Neon Claw Knight's edition suddenly like making it care about damage a lot.
Yeah.
Beyond the Blackwall was released about 10 months ago. So it's not yieldy deck or anything, but
Yeah.
It's burn.
So
you run Hatsuo's Maneuver. Pretty much all of these cards, but Neon Claw Knight were getting run like 3 years ago.
Yeah, but Neon Claw Knight is what makes it all cohesive.
The deck was already cohesive before that.
Yeah, but Neon Claw Knight makes it even more cohesive.
Okay.
So main difference between this month and last month is I finally cut all of the find greater purposes because I did not think those things worked out for me.
I heard, yeah.
Yeah. So
Gal, Hatsuo Maneuver has been in burn 4 days after Beyond the Blackwall released. You basically took this deck and won in league with it.
Yeah,
Had a 4-1.
Exactly.
The only difference between that deck and this one is that you're on a main board Civ's cost and not on a Hatsuo's Maneuver. So this deck's been the format for 10 months. Hasn't changed at all. 1 fire.
Also, so I am experimenting with this. So sideboard, I'm running Obscuriate now. I'm testing this card out. I'm not sure how good it is, but like last
I feel like people just forgot about Obscuriate. Like that card never stopped being good. People just stopped running it for some reason.
Last GP, I lost to ninjas because they could do instant speed creature stuff. So maybe running instant speed creature removal will help me against that matchup.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one.
I need to rate myself 5 chili peppers because I'll be commentating on my games.
Let's see. I'll rate this like a 6.5. Burn's good.
Yeah.
But we have a little blank that's running a deck that I have never seen before in any form, although it's running Chattering Parrot, so this deck's goated.
So I think it's using Excavation Engine to kind of like gain like 17 life per turn or something. It's something like that.
Suppose.
Okay, what do you do with all that life?
I don't know.
But you're not casting Cragbound Crusher with it, so
I guess you're reanimating it with Temporal Resuscitation. Oh, Restored Rose Order. Okay, I see. So
yeah.
That
makes sense.
So you get this thing out, you Excavation Engine your big thing, and then you reanimate it. So how are you getting stuff to the bottom of your deck?
The 2/1
Guzma's Artisan, Chattering Parrot, both do it.
That's actually pretty cool.
Guzma's Artisan. Why does this effect exist in the format? Like just randomly bottoming cards out of your deck.
There was a set. There was a set that cared. I think Mias, and then the Euphorios and or Porio or whatever. I think those are all in the same world. So there was a lot of idea of mirroring. So there was stuff at the bottom of your deck instead of the top of your deck.
That
I believe that's the idea, although I haven't looked into the lore.
and then I guess Guzma's Artisan can also sack itself to manifest a bomb card.
I don't think you'd want that, but it's a thing that can happen.
You blink your manifested thing to get your big thing. It doesn't seem like it.
I mean,
I don't think so.
I'm interested in the 3 of mainboard Seabrain Null Mage. Does that stop a? I think is that for vanishing purposes? I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, I don't know what that's there for.
It's a fun card. I like cards that counter abilities, but I don't know why it's here.
They have 4 Blessed Sun Crusher in the sideboard.
What does that thing do? W or life?
It's power and toughness. It's power and toughness equal to your life total, I guess.
Okay, but 7 mana, so like, how are you ever getting it out?
I don't know. I mean, I
Oh
guess
my
you're
God.
doing the thing, but you're getting
But you're
Blessed Sun Crusher instead of your 11/11 Trampler or your 10/10 First Strike Menace Trampler,
Oh my gosh.
which both seem like better choices than
I guess
this.
if your opponent breeds in Grave Hate, then you can bring in Blessed Suncrusher and have a chance of actually hardcasting it, like if the game goes on really long.
Yeah, and then the other we have some counter spells too. It's Unforbidden Treasure and Lost.
Wait,
Your
speaker of
Dreams.
Deliverance.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And another like
I don't think that
Another
works
thing.
the way you think it does.
I don't think that's I don't think that's good. I want to gain 17 life or put 1 counter onto my creature. Difficult choices.
Wait, is there some sort of random combo that we're not seeing between Speaker of Deliverance and something?
Is it something with like Gasol or whatever? Or
Probably. Gestalt's stupid. Does whatever.
So you, I guess you can start this thing onto the
Palm Silhouette did get nerfed, so.
yeah.
And then there's 2 Core Light Paladins, which is a way to get your excavation engine, I guess.
I don't think that's nearly enough
Well,
core light paladins for how much you're relying on excavation engine to do your do things.
Yeah,
for you.
the fact that you also like, because you want to get Platinum Colossus into hand
Why?
to use with Chattering Parrot.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Because yeah, half of your way to put stuff on bottom needs a card in hand already.
You're
you
only
want it to get
running
your excavation engine, which is like the card. You want a way to get Restore the Rose Order too, because you don't have a way to get that right now.
this deck shouldn't
look-
be on fetch lands either, right? Because if you shuffle your deck, then your whole plan's like kind of cooked.
maybe you don't like the
Well-
bomb card for your deck because you Charming Parrot hid something
Maybe
away.
you whiff.
It gives you extra looks, kind of, you know?
How exactly does it get you extra looks? Because it's all random, unless you're planning things out, right?
You can, like, if you have 2 engines, actually, that doesn't matter, never mind.
You may put it into your graveyard. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess this gets 5 Rose Orders out of 5
Sure,
for being an archetype that I've never seen before. I think I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 10. Like,
I mean, it's a deck, yeah.
Deck
it's a
exists.
functional deck. I think this has to be a 4. Like it's not running nearly enough card draw or card advantage. Your main engine requires like 4 cards because you need to Restore the Rose Order to get stuff back. You need Excavation Engine to put the stuff on the bottom in your grave. You need a Chattering Parrot or Guzma's Argent to put it there in the first place. And Chattering Parrot's more common, and that requires you to have one of your targets in hand already.
And also, how do you beat?
And you
go on.
But you go, because
Okay, so how do you like? You don't have removal either, right?
there is a 4 of Lost City and the 4 Forbidden Treasure. 4 Forbidden Treasure main.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I think maybe a little like really hates getting their stuff countered.
Like, you're in white. You could be on. I'd accept Journey's End over this, honestly.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, you have all that. You have 3 Seabreen null mages that I cannot find the purpose for. I'm sure there's one. Maybe
count
interacts with
them.
temporal
Yeah, you
resuscitation.
counter their fetch land, I guess. That's how you.
It's land
You just run confirm hypothesis.
That
Then you draw a card.
confirm does not blow up fetch lands though.
You're
Yeah,
thinking
but
of
you can
find
have your own
nothing.
fetch land.
You're thinking of find nothing.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Is
Okay.
the one that draws a card.
Right.
That sure, yeah, run 4 of find nothing, man. Why not? Everyone searches for cards anymore. You might as well. Every deck is searching at some point, I'm pretty sure. You know,
Yeah.
All right, last deck.
Sure. Let's move on.
yeah, we've talked enough. Spirit Script.
We haven't seen
Yeah.
that in a while.
There's
After I
2
talked about
find
this.
nothings in Maine. Look at that. What are the odds? Speak it
I
and shall
also
appear.
got wait, did I put it in?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, Imperial Siege. Did I get rid of that or I kept it in?
You have 3 Imperial Siege and
That's
2 find
main.
nothing.
Oh nice. Yeah. I put like I just made this in like 10 minutes. I just put together a bunch of stuff and I thought it'd be decent.
It's a Spirit Script deck.
I mean, I guess that's enough King Dancer targets.
Yeah, there's also Breach the Lilies too. So like Breach the Lilies target find nothing or Imperial Siege is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Someone's going to either end up really salty or really or the deck's just going to fall over itself.
Probably.
What's Daughter of
I think I wouldn't.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd say I probably wouldn't be on Daughter of Suisse.
Suisse, if I pronounce it correctly.
Would it be Suisse?
I think it's Suisse.
No, it's like Sui like Ronaldo.
That's what I've
I
heard
don't
other people
think
pronounce it as.
I don't think I've seen this card before.
Yeah, we
think-
found it. So
I played this card
I don't
once
know what
before.
I don't know what mythology like this set's based on.
It's Japanese something.
Yeah, it'd be like Suisse.
Yeah.
It would be Sui. That's not how Japanese phonology works.
I'm so
L,
unasked.
bozo. If you want to correct me, you better be correct yourself, man. I don't think I'd be on this. I don't really know. I don't think 2 damage is like enough. But then again, you don't really have. I mean, Unceasing Flames. Yeah, I think that's like the one thing I would change. Imperial Siege is. I mean, who's on basic lands anymore, right? You know, you're sad against like mono red, which
I'll
is
play
actually
mono
pretty
red.
bad. That's very common.
who am I playing? Let's see. Oh, I'm playing against a Reshaper deck. That actually works out pretty good.
You can't land.
Yeah,
Actually,
sure.
wait, it does work out really nicely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
and
good.
it's Leosaurs with like no colors too. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think that's advantageous for you.
All right, cool.
So Styles, do you know about like did you consider running the new King Dancer target in blue green? I forgot what the card was called.
I haven't really been up to date. I wasn't even gonna play, but I was convinced to.
What was the new set called again? Like MS
Bring to
Is it
Bring to Harmony?
Bring to Harmony?
I can find it.
Yeah, Bring to Harmony.
What does it do?
It is choose one to destroy target. It's choose one. Return target creature to its owner's hand, draw a card, or destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Yeah, it's this
Yo, it
card.
actually seems pretty good.
You should be playing it over
Yeah.
Nature's Claim, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Well,
No.
when I was helping Styles with this, I didn't know that. I forgot that card existed.
That's fine.
There is one more deck too, which Post Cannon Girl, which has been in the GP chat, did not submit correctly, but it looks like it's gonna get slotted in. So unfortunately, it's not in there. But
can we like talk
You
about
want
it
to
at
take a
least?
look at it?
yeah, it's in GP. If you scroll up a little bit, the
Yeah,
deck
but I
list
need
got
to
like
like somehow
copy
get
pasted
it
in.
into my browser so that I can
Open it in Cockatrice.
I'm not pointing Mobius at Cockatrice right now.
Well, you gotta. Yeah, I mean,
Fine, I'll do that just for you.
yeah.
You could
So
also
this
just open
deck-
it in Dreadrise.
Oh yeah, good point. How do I open stuff
That's
in
smarter.
Dreadrise?
Yeah.
Dreadrise, it works now again.
Whoa, it works. Crazy. Hard to believe.
Well, by works I mean it has the new cards.
Okay, decks.
Uh-oh.
Deck editor, text preview.
Probably.
Paste it in. Update text. No text from decks.
Yeah.
No.
This deck is running a lot of cards that I haven't seen before. It's on Signet Ring, which is like a
What the
1 mana.
heck?
1 mana to scry run, and then 2 mana tap at sack it, add 2 mana of different
The following
colors.
cards are illegal. Tinker's Tools, Kelly Throg's Workshop, Black Hole's Edge, Shikai's Videts. Oh.
Well, that's not true.
There's spaces at the end, probably.
Hey, can someone like just build the deck real quick, submit it to Dreadrise, and just give me the link so I don't have to make it work?
I mean,
What I can do is copy it, open it in Cockatrice, and then export it from Cockatrice into Dreadrise.
Styles, did you give yourself infinite ranking out of 10?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I should.
Wait, if I can
I
do,
should
if
rate your
they can do
deck.
it, I should also do it for myself. Wait, how did you?
Yeah,
Why?
I can do
sure.
it for myself then.
Why did you rate it only a 6.5? Burn's really good. It should be higher than 6.5. It should be a 7 at
Wait,
least.
hold on, I have an idea. Once he gets negative infinity.
People are going to look at this afterward the stream and then wonder what the hell went on.
Probably.
We're just having a joy.
I probably gotta head off now.
Okay.
Thanks for running it.
Wait, why is it a different pawn?
Alright, see you guys.
Yeah.
7. Is Burn a 7? Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, that's a
It's
5.
eating too much.
Negative. I think we gave this thing like a 6.5.
Ricky, I'm DMing the Dreadrise link to you
Okay, thanks.
for Gal's deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for your opinion, Ricky, because I do not know what this deck is on about. It's an artifact deck.
Shiny
I'm
Crusader.
looking because there's Tinkerer's Tools, Armor Piles. There's 4 of experimental upgrades, which is choose a permanent you control, reveal the top 5. You can merge a card that shares a card type with a chosen permanent under it, and it gets those cards' abilities.
Oh yeah, okay. So this deck uses experimental upgrades to do some funky things. I don't know what those funky things are, but they're definitely very funky.
Yes, this is a good deck. Upgrades is kind of a crazy card.
Yeah.
So I think you're like supposed to, you hope to merge your Rust Shell Crustacean into a Shining Crusader.
Or Seismic Colossus, or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, something like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you get your like untouchable Vigilance Trample, Lifelink Haste gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control thing, and you swing at your opponent and you win. And actually, the deck got improved because it has addition of Ubista Forge now,
which is another way to generate creatures.
If it does the thing, it is extremely good. It's just a matter of like actually doing the thing. At least that's my opinion on it.
Should the deck be on more of like the Reshaper package, the Reshaper tutor package?
I don't think so. Or,
I mean, then just run Reshaper.
I mean, like
this deck. This deck is
in this deck.
Like this deck is running artifacts. The deck is running artifacts, but this is only a Reshaper deck in the way that there's some artifacts that are good enough to run in any artifact deck. I don't think there's anything. I don't think Reshaper would do a lot here.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're just not on the cards that really benefit from a Reshaper-like effect.
You do spam the board, right? Maybe you do want do you spam the board even? I guess you don't really spam the board that much.
Yeah, you're playing like a couple creatures. You're going tall in this deck.
You have War Fans. I guess that thing technically. Wait, why are you playing one copy of War Fans?
Tinker's Tools, I guess.
Are you playing? Oh yeah, you are playing Tinkers. Oh, I guess maybe it's a Rust Shell Crustacean target.
Oh yeah, true.
So you can grab this thing and get 2 more artifacts on board for 1.
Yeah.
There's also the legs in here.
It makes your thing big based on number of artifacts you control. So I mean, yeah.
True.
It doubles up your Rust Shell Crustacean basically.
True.
Yeah, and makes your Rust Shell Crustacean hard to block, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're not going to get
experimental upgrades. I mean, that feels
very
about right.
To see how this deck plays out. I really like upgrades.
Yeah, that's not a card I've seen before, but quite interesting. I think I'm gonna give it 5 mechanics out of 5.
I'll give it.
Cal's been playing like up this deck like sporadically over the past like 5-6 months.
Yeah.
I'll give it 5. I really like this deck.
I'll give it. Sure, I'll give it 5.
I'll give it a 6.5 for rating.
Really? You think that it's that powerful?
I don't know. Maybe I'm overrating it, but I've lost to this deck a lot of times.
I mean, if we're right, then we're right. You know.
What do you
have to make?
Who gave it negative infinity?
I did. Well, it has the actual rating and brackets next to it. So,
So
you know.
that's all the decks, and